Don't conform to sin. 1 Peter 1:14 says, as obedient children, do not conform to the evil desires you had when you lived in ignorance. Do not conform to the evil desires. That word conform means to fit into a pattern, to fit into a mold. It means to take the shape of. And this evil desires are all the sinful desires, the immoral, the living in sin. So don't conform. So if I can give you a word picture, if this is sin, this is you and I, okay, this is us as a believer. The word picture that he's saying is, don't take sin and then start to conform your life into sin, so that you take on the look, you take on the shape. What it's saying is, don't let sin shape you. Don't let sin mold you. Don't let sin be what dictates your actions and your thoughts and your mind and your behavior. Don't let sin shape who you are and how you behave. It says instead, as obedient children, don't do that. Now, that word obedient, it means submissive. It has the idea of submission. And in the New Testament, that Greek word that's translated either obedient or submission is used 15 times. But there were a couple of times as I went through that I thought had significant context. One of those was in Romans 5:19. And it's the context of Jesus being submissive to his Father. And it was through the submission of Jesus Christ that he went to the cross. Jesus decided that he would not submit to his own will. Rather, he would submit to his Father's will. And because of that, he went to the cross and he purchased our salvation. So it's a word picture here that says that our obedience should be just like that of Jesus Christ. That we would not surrender to our own will, but to the will of the Father. We have a choice of who we're going to listen to. That's the idea here. We should submit to what the Father says rather than what our flesh desires. The other one was in Romans 6:16, and it was used in the context of slavery. And the idea there was, whatever you submit to, you will become a slave to. So Romans is saying, don't submit to your sinful desires. Don't submit to your evil desires. Don't give your flesh that unwarranted power to enslave you once again. So the passage here in 1 Peter says, as obedient children, don't give in to sin. Verse 15 goes on and says, instead, be holy in all that you do. Verse 16 says, be holy because I am holy. That word holy means to separate from sin, separate to God. So what that means is you're going to separate yourself from sin. Instead of letting sin conform you and shape you, you're going to separate yourself from that sin. And really the word picture here is saying, don't let sin shape your life. Let Jesus Christ and his word shape your life.